Ooh.
What's up, brother?
Amed in the house.
Yo, Adrian Alvarado. Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year, man. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Hey, man. I'm chilling, man. Living like a villain. Villain. I see my man Eric. Go fuck yourself. Just logging on.
Hey, guys, if you're just tuning in live, this is episode 11 of Hollywood Tales. Eric Mills signing on right now. There he is.
What's up?
Can everybody hear each other perfectly?
Yeah, man.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool.
You guys
Good
look
to see
so
you guys.
handsome.
Welcome. Look at us. We're back. The three amigos.
We all got like a stash going on. I like it.
No, I know.
This is.
I was just.
I'm going for the. I'm going for the European older gay gentleman thing.
So you're happy?
Oh yeah, very happy.
Yeah.
This is my timeless.
Very happy, baby.
This is my timeless terrorist look.
I like it. It works. Somehow it works. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Well, guys, right before you logged in, Eric, I was saying we're back. Episode 11. It is January 19th. It is approximately 5:06 p.m. Pacific time. Chicago, it's 7:06 p.m. And Adrian, 8:06. And this is our welcome back podcast. We haven't done this since when was the last one we did with Jason Leong?
Early September.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah,
right when you started the show. Right when you started the show.
Started the show early to mid September. I want to say somewhere in there. I was working and I was. Yeah.
So if you're watching, hey, it's a great problem. But if you're watching, we started this podcast during the quarantine. You can watch previous episodes to learn kind of how it all came about. And Adrian came on board as a producer, co-host, etc. But we had a good run. We were like banking podcasts there for a second with great episodes, and then fucking Eric had to go out and get a job.
Shit, in the quarantine. How dare
you? Yeah, how dare you?
What an asshole.
No, but I'm glad we're back. Time, it's all timing, right?
Cheers,
yeah, man. Cheers. I love you guys. It's good to see you both.
Love you too, guys.
Speaking of working, I think I might have got a job offer today.
Oh, nice.
Chicago.
Nice.
How's that happening?
Don't talk about it too much. You don't want to jinx it.
Mm-mm.
I already hit the loo like 4 times. I had dinner, I was cooking. Thank you, Stacy.
Just make sure.
Yeah, like whatever. Sometimes it's like it takes turns every other day. Like I gotta pee every whenever I drink something.
I'll probably be the first guy to go.
It's funny, when I was a kid, me and my buddy, we used to part. I mean, we were animals, and we had a chart. My buddy made a chart that said heart, liver, lungs, and we'd like make little hashtags, see which one's gonna go first. Not that funny anymore. I don't know. Like,
hey.
Hey. Yeah, I know.
Just not funny anymore. Hey,
not funny anymore.
I feel cool sandwiched between two East Coasters.
Okay, you guys.
I'm like, you guys. I'm so West Coast.
The buns and the ham in the middle.
It means you're the lucky Pierre, right?
You get the buns and the ham.
So let's catch up. Last episode, Jason Leong, comic from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, has a Netflix special out called #Blessed. We've texted and talked, the three of us, but we haven't done a podcast in September, as you mentioned. So let's just go down the line and do a catch up, and then we could talk about all the other stuff. What's going on in the news? Tomorrow's Inauguration Day. Are they going to storm the Capitol again? Like, where the fuck are we at?
Well, they got so far. How's Venice, man? How's the boardwalk, man?
Dude, so I live right in the heart of Venice, for those of you that don't know, and I'm on this app. I don't know if you guys have it. It's called Citizen app. Do you have Citizen app?
No,
I had. Yeah, you
It's
told me.
basically- Yeah, it's basically it's.
I haven't really delved into it yet, but yeah, I downloaded it. I just haven't like fucked around with it yet.
It's basically like Nextdoor or like one of those neighborhood watch apps. So I have like a couple mile radius of like what goes on in my neighborhood. There's always a motherfucker with a machete who pops up. I'm not joking around.
Is he Puerto Rican?
Bro.
That's hilarious, dude.
Bro, this is a true story. So he popped up on Citizen app like, I don't know, 24 times, right? Neighbors like reporting this homeless guy with no shirt and a man bun, brandishing a machete. So I'm like, I gotta meet this fucking guy. No, because it sounded so Game of Thrones.
It might be a gig.
It sounded like a big, like threatening guy. So one night I'm walking home with my neighbor and we're just talking in front of our complex. And we live right in the heart of Venice where all the action is. Eric's been there. And we hear this behind us. We hear this, rah, rah. And I turn around and I was like, I looked at the guy. I was like, oh, I think you're the guy. I picked up my phone. You're the guy from Citizen app. And he did it again. And I was like, bro, they make you out to be like, a big guy, like the fucking what was Jason Momoa's character in Game of Thrones? What was his name?
Yeah,
Drogo.
Yeah,
like they make him out to be like that guy.
Rocky.
And this guy was like 5'4", a little chubby. I was like, dude, they're misrepresenting you on Citizen app.
Not cool.
And I'm like making fun of him, and he does it. First of all, he didn't have a machete. He had looked like a sword from the movie Aladdin. Had like a curl on the end of it, like a sithar. And he does it again, and I just started fucking like clowning him. I was like, dude, who reps you? Like, you should. This isn't the right gig for you. And then I picked up my bike. I have like this little bike that I was riding, and I just picked it up, and I'll just throw this fucking bike at you, man. Anyway, I haven't seen him since that night, so I think I may have scared him. Now I'm on Citizen app.
So why are they reporting him? I think it's like danger.
Managers moved him somewhere where they're going to rep him correctly.
Now they're like tall, angry Egyptian man, yielding bike.
Yielding bicycle.
He's got the bike next to the sitar knife guy. But
to answer your question, yeah, Venice is a shit show. Nobody's wearing masks around here. It's really kind of its own planet. Nobody tells Venice what to do. And there are crimes literally popping up in my neighborhood, like, left and right. So
yeah.
I'm here for.
I was thinking about like LA, like, okay, I remember LA, and it's like, okay, well, nobody walks on the sidewalks. Why is it the epicenter? Like everybody drives. Like what? All of a sudden, everybody is just fucking kumbayaing and like hanging out. Like I don't understand what's happening.
Also, LA, and I don't want to get into conspiracy theories and politics, but they've shut down all outdoor dining and anything outdoors. So they're trying to purposely shut down all these small businesses, which is bullshit, and make the city implode and make people want to leave, which they've done a good job at. A lot of people are leaving LA because there's no more. I mean, aside from going to the beach, there really isn't a lifestyle. You can't sit outside. You can't have a bite to eat. You can't, So
you can't be on the street. You can't be sitting outside. You can't be. I mean, I know you can't sit outside at a restaurant, but is it like a shutdown, like lockdown thing? Like you're not supposed to be on the street, like doing anything.
No. The streets are open. The beaches are open. The bike trails are open. The hiking trails are open. That kind of thing. But I'm talking about. See, that's why I think it's weird that you can't sit down and pay for a meal at an outdoor, just as distanced anything else outdoors.
Even on the sidewalk, like even like setting it up like New York style. Like New York is like, okay, outdoor dining is cool. See, it's like
unless that changes tomorrow, when the new president comes in, and we'll get into that later. But as far as I know, and I'm concerned, it's on shutdown, and I think they're just trying to weed everybody out of here. And some of the survivors will stick around, and the people with like big money and the big corporations will kind of overrule everything.
Come in and buy everything up, and
yeah,
that's
and
that.
And the middlemen and the small men get pushed out. And then the irony in the whole thing is they're allowing this huge influx in population of homeless people to just literally set up camp right here, man, in Venice and like in Los Angeles. There was some of these people like just became homeless. It's not like they were homeless for years. Like, looks like they just, lost their jobs. Like, one guy was camped out. Motherfucker had a Sprinter van with a like a little fire pit and like a hammock. He was on a date. This motherfucker was on a Tinder date.
Like, the world's my palace.
He was on a date. Oh shit! You're killing me.
Like, what's your living room? The beach.
No, seriously. I mean, they've got generators and running like filtered water. I mean, they're camping basically.
It's weird. It's like everybody's had a different experience. Like in Connecticut, like the state overall, has handled things decently. I don't know what the word is nowadays, but the fact is that we've been open since May, pretty much. Like,
right.
We've been able to go to like indoor dining to a certain capacity, outdoor dining. Restaurants have adapted. Like, you can go out.
Connecticut or New York City?
In Connecticut, first Connecticut. New York just started that. Like, and then they retracted it. So like we're right next door, but CT is sort of like a hub, in between Boston and New York and Jersey, and it's like so it's like where everybody lives, and then they go work other places. So it's like here it hasn't really. The state has been doing well per se, considering the tragedy and all that stuff. But like they're not in a deficit, considering like New York is like in a deficit budget, But we've been open. And like I can go, they have a spot. I have a brewery right here. I can go down there, go get a beer. As long as I can order something to eat, I could sit there. It's all boxed out in glasses. I feel like I'm in a freaking cubicle, or like I'm a baby, like I was just born.
But you're outside.
No, it's indoors, man.
Oh, so cubicles in plastic, like boy in the plastic bubble kind of shit.
Word. And they have. Well, it's a big place, so the reason you can go there because it is like very open, so it's accessible outdoors. So there's always ventilation and stuff, so it isn't like so enclosed.
I'm sorry, real quick, Eric, who's that pouring your wine? Oh, hey, chicken.
I'm not.
She won't get on camera. She's not camera ready. I was listening to you
right now.
Yo, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just saw this hand with a bottle.
Nice.
I was like, are you at a restaurant?
Hey.
Hi guys.
What's up, girl?
So I can hear him actually just as well on my phone as I can from in here.
Awesome.
Bye.
Love you. Thanks, baby. Sorry, Adrian. I was listening to every word you said.
Adrian.
But we've been open per se compared to like LA. Like it hasn't been that like claustrophobic here. You still like cautious and stuff, like, but I haven't been out lately because I've been on the bubble lately, but you can still go out and get stuff.
And Eric, you're in Chicago. What's it like there?
Chicago's cool. I mean, things are open. It's closed to indoor dining. What they've done is they've built all these tents that you've seen at restaurants where they build like this big, like expensive tent, right? And I don't understand how that's not indoor dining. It's the same fucking thing. You're in a big plastic room that has no ventilation unless they leave the tops open. Some of them leave the top open. So there's tent seating for indoor seating, and some restaurants, if they're if their indoor seating is by a patio or by an outdoor area, they'll leave that open. So they'll have some of the indoor tables that are open for seating. Stores are open. CVS. I had to stop at like a Target today, but people people are really distancing for the most part. I mean, I go out and have to run errands or have to, because we're closing on this fucking house and we're running around crazy. And I see people with masks on a lot. I don't see a lot of people like blowing that off for the most part, So I don't know how the numbers are. Jen would be better. Honey, I know you can hear me. What are the numbers? Well, she's in the other room, so whatever. But it's
right here at 5-point-something%. It was high for a minute.
It was high for a minute. I know LA is getting fucking like decimated.
Right now we have the worst and the highest cases. It's funny. I was talking to friends of mine that are like, in like Florida and Arizona and Texas. South Carolina, they're laughing at people who are wearing masks. Like, ha 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 ha, you're a sheep. And no, it's just crazy. It's because it's like the respect factor and the value of trying to control this thing has just gone right out the fucking window.
When we shut down for COVID, and I think we talked about this. I'm sure we probably did. When we shut down for COVID over the summer, and I came back to Chicago, and then I went to LA. I got my motorcycle and I rode back with my uncle, and we did like a 2.5 week, almost 2 week ride, and kind of checked out the country a bit. We would pull into many places in the middle of the country, and that's when it was kind of blooming, and then it just started to kind of dissipate a bit. But it was after the first initial bloom, and we'd walk into places, and there wasn't a fucking mask in sight. And if you had a mask on, people look at you like fucking snowflake. I'm like, dude, well, I mean, how do you fight that? How do you fight? It's just it's I don't
I'll tell you how to fight it. We got to get this guy Trump out of
Need
office.
A machete guy.
Get Trump out of office. Get Trump out of office tomorrow, and we start fresh. And that's it. Push the reset button.
It's like just pull the Band-Aid, man. That's it. Tomorrow the Band-Aid gets pulled and it's over, man. It's it's just amazing, like okay, we're gonna talk about it, I guess. But if you want to
we got to talk about it.
Like the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room. Boom,
bro. He's not the elephant. He's the fucking alien in the room.
Oh God,
he's the dead worker in the room. Everybody sees her. She's there.
I gotta look at the history of my Facebook because one of my first political posts when he first started running for president, I'm like, is this a joke?
Bro.
Honestly. And then people were telling me, no, I'm like, no, this is funny, right? Like this is a joke because I'm from Jersey and I grew up with this guy being a freaking douchebag,
A couple months ago, I posted something on Facebook. It was a funny meme or a picture of him. And I said something to the effect of like him or not, he's the hardest working comic in the world right now. Something like that. And bro, I have people that I've known for years that started like, how dare you make fun of our commander in chief? And he's done so much for her. And I was just like, yo, it was a joke. First of all. Second of all, get off my fucking dick. Get off my page.
First of all, it was a joke. Second of all, you.
No, so then they came back and they started like firing back. So I just went block. Yeah. And then their boyfriend chimed in and said, whoa, that's typical. You would block so-and-so because someone's block. That's the power of blocking people. You can
but I
block.
John, what up, cuz? John, that's my picture. Just real quick, that's a picture. The banner that's up right now, my cousin John. It's a picture of his mom, Ann, who was my aunt that passed a couple days ago.
Sorry to hear.
Coolest fucking lady ever, and love you, Ann.
Blessings,
love you, John. And there you have it. There it is. The circle.
May she rest in peace. God bless her.
Yeah.
My dad just passed on Christmas.
Speaking of your dad, I watched Just Like Us. And first of all, I fucking loved it. It was great. Adrian, have you seen that? Have you seen Just Like Us?
I have not.
Awesome. Can you actually? Do you mind, Adrian? I think I sent you the link to it for the cross-cultural entertainment. I texted it.
Yeah, I have that.
Can you post that when you get a moment, please?
Yes,
my dad's. For those of you that are watching, my dad just passed away. God bless him. on Christmas night. Not of COVID, ironically, of just other complications that were pre-existing, but it was just, you know, he didn't want to be on life support. He put that in his will, so we honored that. But I made a documentary about 10 years ago called Just Like Us. The website, or the link is right there, Cross Cultural Productions on YouTube. Sebastian Maniscalco is in it, and Whitney Cummings is in it, and Maz Jobrani is in it, and Angelo Sarukas is in it, and Omid Jalili and Tom Papa, Tommy Davidson, a lot of like the star-studded cast of comics. Some of them before they were famous, but my dad is in it for about 5 or 7 minutes, and pretty much, you know, kind of steals the show. So thanks, man. I'm glad you watched it and liked it. And,
yeah, I watched it and I loved it, and I just fell in love with your dad and your mom. Mom is
she's
awesome.
she's
yeah.
And I will tell them. I'll tell her. Sorry.
Please tell her. I just want to give her a hug. I just adore your mom. She's so cool. And you, a hale, dark-haired fucking Amed with like the sideburns coming down, looking all fucking. I was like, I remember that dude. Check out that out. It was great. I really enjoyed it. It was a great documentary. You did a really, really good job, man. You did a really good job. And I urge everybody that's watching or that will watch this to please check it out. You'll be very happy you did. Don't miss it. Very cool. Very cool. Of course.
Yeah, that was a fun little doc to make. It was about 3 years of my life. But my dad really honestly stole the show. Like when we were doing test screenings. Oh yeah, that's my Instagram. And if you go to my link in my bio, you can click right directly to the documentary on YouTube for free. So yeah, when we were scoring and trying to edit the movie, we shot 200 hours of footage and we cut it into 72 minutes. And we would do these focus group test screenings and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's another thing, real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's 72 minutes, so it goes like that. I mean, I turned it on, and before I knew it, it was over. I was like, "Fuck, man, fucking Amed, fucking slacker! You could have made that 20 minutes longer, bro."
We wanted to kind of like hook people in and then finish the ride.
Yeah, it was very. But cool.
No, thanks. And the funny thing is, when we were scoring the film to strangers, we giving people little comment sheets. Did you like the movie? Would you recommend it to a friend? Who was your favorite character? What would you cut out? Stuff like that. 98% said my dad was their favorite character.
That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy? When I told him, swear to God, we were having dinner at my parents' house. He's mid-bite. I said, "Hey, Bubba, we tested the movie. You scored the highest for people's most likable person in the documentary. It's like 98%. He didn't miss a beat. He goes, "Maybe I should get an agent." And my mom goes, "He's joking. Stop, Buck. Don't." And my dad goes, the numbers don't lie. Got my dad for the turn.
You have to see the movie to really appreciate that. His dad is fucking awesome.
He looks like
my dad.
It's
my
so
dad. My dad. I don't know if you go on my Instagram at Amed Comedy, you'll see pictures of my dad I posted. My dad, when we premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival actually, and which is De Niro's film festival. So Robert De Niro, they gave us a red carpet premiere and. Everybody was there. All the comics flew in. Yeah, it was crazy. We had 4 sold out screenings. I remember De Niro coming up to my dad after the premiere. And he was like, he literally went up to my dad and was like, you're the guy in the movie. You're the guy in the movie. And my dad has no idea who fucking De Niro is.
No.
And he goes, "You're the guy in the movie." He just kept on saying that to my dad. And then it was like one of those things where I had to explain to my dad. I said, "That's Robert De Niro." I like whispered in his ear. And he's like, "Yes, tell him to come meet me," And then and then they were talking for a second. They like engaged in like old man conversation. And about 2 minutes in, De Niro puts his arm over my dad's shoulder. He looks at me and he goes, "I love your dad, but I got no clue what he's saying." And then he walks away. And then he walks away, and my dad was like, "Yeah, I just met Johnny De Niro. It was a good guy." I'm like, "It's Robert De Niro." But my dad just had this. I guess my point is, my dad just had this ability for people to come to him, like he was a magnet in this weird way. So, yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for plugging.
I mean, I had never met the man, unfortunately. I really wish I had, but he seemed to have and I, you know, I mean, I would imagine being his son, you may have a different viewpoint, but he seemed to have this real, like this inherent like sweetness to him. Like this, he was lovely. He was great. Your dad was awesome. I'm really glad to film. There's a scene in it, and there's a scene in it where you're on stage, I think it's in Egypt, and you bring the kids on stage, the two little boys and the little girl. And the little boys I wanted to strangle, but the little girl was the cutest thing I ever saw in my life. And you brought her in. There's a scene where Amed brings this little girl up, and please watch the film. And just kind of sits there and like has the microphone, like, you know, up to her. And she's like kind of playing with the shirt. And it's brilliant. It's a great moment.
Thanks.
It's really a great moment.
You know, it's funny now. Thanks, man. It's funny because two camera guys that were, you know, documenting it. We hired them like a couple days before we left. I said to them, "Hey, make sure and just shoot everything. Just keep the cameras rolling. I don't even care if there's just like dead time. Just keep the power on. Make sure the batteries are charged, and just hit record. And even if you're not filming, just hold the camera because we didn't know what was going to happen, and like shit like that would happen. Not only in Egypt, in every country.
Right.
So we would be in different countries and whatever. We'd be in Beirut, Lebanon. You see a tank on the street, you know, shoot it.
Right.
We'd be in Saudi Arabia, Harley Davidson, you know, 12 Harley Davidsons cruising down, you know, Riyadh Boulevard. Like, it was just crazy. And then in Egypt, you know, kids running up on stage in front of 2,000 people. And, you know, so yeah, but thanks for watching. I'm glad you finally got a chance to look at it. It's funny, that movie's 10 years old.
I know.
It's timeless.
It's timeless.
It's like 20 in COVID years.
By the way, to kind of go back on topic with this whole, you know, presidential exchange and whatnot, when I watched the state capitol get stormed, they were interviewing people like, "Where'd you come from?" "I flew all the way from Florida. I came all the way from this place." One guy said, "Oh, I flew all the way from LA." I'm like, "Bro, did your agent book you for this?" Hey, go storm the state capitol. You'll get great coverage.
It's some good footage.
I mean, they did. Some of those people, they're all getting indicted and arrested. What do you guys think of that? I'm curious to know. Huh?
Good, Eric. I'll let you go.
Famous, the guy with the horns. I mean, there's some people that, like, you know, you'll never forget their face.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it was a little overproduced. Like, it was somebody dressed that guy. I don't know who was this fashion fucking consultant. Like,
yeah, man. You know, I don't know.
Awesome. It's awesome.
He'll get a book deal.
Yeah.
Look, it was on my end.
Well, he's gonna get something. I'll tell you that.
That guy might be on the cover of Time magazine by the end of the year.
That'd be a shame.
You know, most humiliating Americans. I don't know.
Yeah, Time magazine does that. They should be ashamed of themselves. You know, like that's what I felt. You know, like growing up in Jersey, Puerto Rican, you know, thinking I was an American, and then people told me, "No, you're not American. You're Puerto Rican." You know, like that was my first reality in 1980 something.
I used to get that too. I'm not even Puerto Rican.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you know that there was like that Hulk Hogan song, you know, I'm a real American. I am a real American. Like he had a song when he was like at the epic center of his like popularity. I was like a 11-year-old kid, and I believed that, right? And somebody told me that. Oh no, he was fucking with me. It was this Italian guy fucking with me. Oh, Chino, you're not American. You're Puerto Rican. You know. I was like, oh, you piece of shit. But it woke me up. It sort of like it was like a slap in the face, and I was like, okay, maybe you're right, because I'm noticing that there is a difference here. But I believed in it. I believed in America, and I believe what America stands for. And to see all that shit happen, and knowing that, even seeing the tea leaves, the writing on the wall, you couldn't even set it. You could have had a freaking banner on the fucking freeway that this shit was gonna happen, and you knew it was gonna happen, and it still happened. Like people pretended like it wasn't happening. That's the most shocking thing for me. Like 40% of this country like wants that shit to happen. Like that was the most devastating thing. So every other person that I run into, you're an insurrectionist, is where I'm at. Really?
Well, yeah.
Preach, preach, brother, preach.
They flew to fucking Washington. They were going to kill the vice president and kill the House, Nancy Pelosi, and then let it fly home and go back to work on Monday, and just go about their lives.
Bro, I have friends of mine in different countries around the Middle East and Asia that are like messaging me, going, and they're from fucked up countries. They're like, "What the fuck's going on in America? You guys are fucked up."
Yo, it's a banana.
When other countries are saying that you guys are America's fucked up, then we got a problem, because America has always prided itself on being, the golden standard and the leader.
Like the promise of like what we could do.
What could be, right.
Yeah, I mean that's a little treacly, but it's kind of what we've stood for. What we could be if we, the democracy and all that, and it was just a fucking shit show. I mean, it's
no, it's crazy.
I was I can't remember where I was. I was doing something. I think I was in New York actually for my aunt, and I got a text from a friend saying they're storming the Capitol, and I went. And then I went back like 20 minutes later, and there was a picture of it. I was like, holy shit, they're fucking storming the Capitol. And I called him, and I was like, what the because I wasn't anywhere where I could watch the news. I was like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, bro, you would not believe this. You wouldn't. And he was like half laughing and almost kind of crying. Like he was like, you wouldn't fucking believe this, man. This is just completely out of hand. It's completely out of hand. But now, all the Trumpers, they want to call for unity. Yeah.
I had a couple friends of mine from like Pakistan who were just like, what's going on in your country? And I was just like, oh, they stormed the state capitol, and they're, that's crazy, isn't it? And they were just like, that's like a Tuesday for us.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Like some countries that's a Tuesday fucking afternoon.
That shit all the fucking time.
No, that's sad.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, should we? She's good. Capital. All right, let's go. The fuck?
No, man. You know how many people. The irony is, like, how many lives he's ruined. Like he's ruining their lives.
Oh, bro.
They don't even know. They don't even realize. Like it's like what Jonestown. Like the juice is so sweet. They don't even realize how screwed they are. It's like, really? Are they that dumb?
I was talking to my mom today, and I said, look, Donald Trump, he's the biggest star in the world right now. And I said it like sarcastically, and she goes, what do you mean star? He's not a star. She like thought it was being serious, and I was like, no, I'm just joking around, but he's the most watched person, I think, in the world right now. I mean, who else is out there? Fucking Kim Kardashian?
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't even look on my end. It's like, anybody who, I think at this point, I call out the media, like, because there's always a truth to everything. So if they even like post anything that he says or what he's doing, it's just they're looking for ratings.
Well, Twitter canceled him.
They shouldn't. You know what? Yo, SAG.
Hey, by the way, the fact that you're the president of the United States and you get kicked off of fucking Twitter,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
SAG is dropping him, aren't they?
They're gonna hold a hearing, and they're gonna kick his ass out. He can't fucking have a show.
Right. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's right. Jen told me that today. She's like, yeah, SAG is having a hearing, and that they're about like disband, like just excommunicating him from SAG.
Yeah, pretty much. He's attacking SAG members because they're reporters, people who report on the news. They're in the union, and he's attacking them, making them feel safe, and they're getting death threats, and he violates their rights. He has been.
He's a fucking pig, man. He's just a fucking pig. It's unreal. Unreal, brother.
A lot of people want a pig in there. That's what they got.
What did I miss?
What did I miss? What did I miss?
I went to
what did I Stello a toi. Bellissima.
Lovely.
Oh, by the way, do you guys know what this is?
It looks like some sort of CBD
drops.
Actually, no. I think Adrian, I sent you the website to this, apotheo.com. Can you post that up there, please?
Let me see.
My friend, I texted it to us. My friend. I think
it's like CBD drops.
CBD drops.
Actually, I think Adrian, I sent you the website to this, apotheo.com. Can you post that up there, please?
Yeah,
can you guys hear me? I think I'm my
phone. So I was trying to send it to the laptop. So
my friend.
What happened to that?
CBD
drops.
Actually,
can I get some?
Adrian, I sent you the website to this, apotheo.com. Can you post that up there, please? Yeah, can you guys hear me? I think I'm
I hear you.
I was trying to send it to the laptop. So
my friend.
What happened to that?
CBD. All right, we're gonna cut. Ahmed, we're having a little technical issues here. Can I get some?
Why don't one of you guys log off and log back on? Can you set up there, please? Can you guys hear me? I think. Aaron, can you hear me?
What happened to that?
Adrian, log off for a second. Just let me know.
Adrian, I think it's coming from.
All right, it's coming from Adrian. Hi, Eric.
Hey, buddy.
That's more civilized. Adrian, if you can hear us, that was for sure coming from your side. So if you come back on.
What happened to this?
I don't know what's going on here.
Adrian, the computer is possessed, man. It's like a thousand voices. Crazy. Hello. Oh, hi. Am I the only one live? Oh, it's fucked up. Adrian, that was cold, man. Oh, hi.
Here we go. Hey, let's just you and I go symbiotic for a second until Adrian figures out the tech, because I don't think people want to watch all that crazy shit.
That
was wild.
That was great.
My ears started to hurt.
It was like watching The Exorcist, only I was in it.
I know. Anyway, what I was saying was my buddy John Teague makes this CBD oil called Apotheo.
Okay.
And it's apotheo.com. And I'm not into like CBD oils and that kind of thing, but was having a hard time sleeping. I started exercising a little bit, so I was like super achy and sore. Anyway, I took 2 drops of that last night, and it was a whole new world.
2 drops?
No, I'm sorry. 2 what do you call them? Tinctures?
Two.
Hold on, I'll show you.
like eyedropper tubes full.
Let me show you. Yeah. How does this thing work? Here we go. So 2 of these.
Take 2 of them now. We can watch you get like real fucked up while we do this podcast. It's gonna be awesome.
I'll do one.
I want to do one. Oh, wait.
You want to do one together?
Yeah. Wait.
I've never done this. All right, hold on. John Teague. It's Apotheo. I'm sorry, apotheo.net. Excuse me.
This one isn't open yet.
They're not selling it
Here, yeah.
They're not selling it on line yet, but they will soon. So just go to the website, apotheo.net.
Okay.
And, I tried it for the first time last night, and I got to be honest with you. Not only does it help you sleep, your dreams are like super lucid and vivid and like.
I like that.
Crazy. I was able to I woke up this morning. I had like 4 or 5 dreams back to back that were all different, and I remembered every single dream by detail. It was very crazy because the CBD oil helps your like your REMs and going into a deep sleep, and they give it to kids with like epilepsy.
Can do it, yeah.
I'm just gonna do 1 drop for now. I'll do it with you. What's your brand?
Mine is Focus. Which I have through my dear friend Veronica Kelly, and I have their website. I didn't know I was going to do this on the podcast, or I would have advertised it. But if anybody is interested, by all means, reach out to me, and I'll put you in touch with Veronica. And next time we do this, I'll put it up. I'm going whole hog. Cheers, baby.
Cheers, man. They say you're supposed to let it sit on your tongue for 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, I go under the tongue and I kind of let it sit there, but I just wasn't quite ready for it. It's actually not bad. It's almost like a fruit and like chemical, no, not chemical. It's like a fruit. I don't know. It's not bad.
This one has 0 flavor. Like it tastes like you're just putting like thick water in your mouth. Stacy Jane Joyner. Amed needs to go back to the bathroom. I never went to the bathroom. I went to get a beer.
John, the cookie was good. It was kind of mild. So my cousin John's asked me about the cookie. We had a couple special cookies. The cookie was good. It was mild, very chill, very mellow. Sergio Santana, what's up? Corinne, I love you. Stacy, I love you. I got some people watching. Rob Joyner, you handsome fucker. And Rob Joyner is married to my baby mama. What's up with that? He's a nice guy. No, not fruit with dessert. Okay, so I just got a text. Oh, Jesus Christ! So have you ever bought property? Have you ever been a property owner? Have you ever owned property? Is that something you've ever done?
I'm not that mature. I'm not that advanced.
I don't think I am either, because I'm going through this. It's a never ending fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, you're buying a brand new condo in Chicago, right? Skyline view, the whole thing.
We're buying a condo in Chicago. I called an apartment because it looks like an apartment to me. Jen calls it a condo because it's actually a condo. But it's got a very New York kind of a old school, like late 20s. I showed you pictures. It's really the coolest apartment I've ever seen. That being said, fucking loan shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at you while I'm talking to you. It's fuck it. It is what it is. It's pain in the ass. Short answer is it's pain in the ass. So when you do, be aware. And I always heard that buying property is a nightmare. You gotta go through, you jump through the fucking hoops. It just never ends. And it's just like it's always like this, I guess. So Now I'm dealing with it. But the good news is, hopefully in a week we'll be in our new place.
In 1 week, that's fast.
Hoping to close on Monday. We were supposed to close tomorrow, and without getting into it, we were delayed a few days. No big deal. It happens. But I know that the deal was contingent on a quick close, so I'm hoping we close Monday at the latest Tuesday. It's weird, man. It's like you get emails just flying at you from like lawyers and the blender and the other side and your realtor, and there's just it never ends. It's like always something new to look at, and now doing it remotely, it's on email. So like you open an email and be like, fuck, did I look at this already? Did I already sign this? Wait a minute, this is so familiar. I just did this. And you'll go back and you can't find it. And then you'll be like, no, I didn't do it. So you do it again. And then you'll find it. You're like, and it's, anyway, I should have worse problems than buying a fucking house. So
yeah, you're buying a house.
I guess I could stop whining about it. But it's a pain in the ass. I got one more.
Well, I know Adrian just posted he's having some tech problems, so he's going to bow out for now. But if you do come back in, Adrian, you're always welcome. And if not, we'll go for, I think, a few more minutes. And thanks for producing this segment episode of Hollywood Tales, episode 11, January 19th.
Where is Adrian? I don't see him.
No, he posted a comment saying that he was having tech issues. So,
oh, buddy,
but he'll come back. Sorts it out. The podcast is called Hollywood Tales. I mean, you were working for September, October, November, December on a production. I mean, let's talk about that. 3-4 months of your life.
So in October of 2019, I got a call to go to Philly from a friend of mine, Brian O'Neill, who I work with a lot. I do a lot of shows with Brian. And it was going to be a long show. We were supposed to be done like April, May. While I was in Philly, Jen came to Chicago and ended up getting the promotion and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, we shut down for COVID for 5 months. I came to Chicago. We went back to work in Philly early September, late August, early September, because we had a whole another month to prep, to re-prep, and reset up everything from being down 5 months. And we went back to work, and we had to go back with guidelines, COVID guidelines, and COVID protocols, and things that we had never ever done before on production. And you know what production is like, and production does not lend itself to distancing, social distancing, or being responsible, or any of those things. It's a bunch of monkeys in a box crawling all over each other and trying to get one thing accomplished, with 300 moving parts. So going back was a trip. It was a learning experience. We were tested once a week. We had different zones. We had like a green zone. We had a yellow zone. We had all these different
So what's describe those green, yellow, whatever.
So for instance, we had a zone that was like the actors and the director and hair and makeup. That whoever had to be on set, and they got tested once a day.
And that's green.
That's green zone. And they were they were strongly sequestered from the yellow zone, which was the rest of the crew, which were tested once a week. And then there was the red zone, which was the public that were not tested, vendors that were not tested, whatever.
And not allowed to come around.
Not allowed anywhere near yellow zone or green zone. And you had to have a handoff area for yellow zone and green zone. So like you had to have, so it's like we were shooting on a street, we had to have like, the whole set was green zone. And then you had a yellow zone, green zone / handoff tent where yellow zone would take something off the truck, drop it there. And then you had
I'm sorry. What'd you say? One more time? Yellow what?
So So they would like drop a piece of equipment off a truck.
Oh, okay,
right?
yeah, okay.
Like everything was already sterilized and wiped down that was already in green zone. But if they needed something from the yellow zone, like lunch, for instance, or whatever, a piece of equipment, it would go to the tent. The people in the tent would wipe it down, and it would go from this side of the tent, wipe down to that side of the tent. So there was yellow zone and there was green zone. Then we'd pick it up. And it sounds fairly straightforward. Pretty simple. When you're in the middle of production, it's a fucking nightmare. It's a nightmare dealing with this. Plus, you need to do social distancing. Everybody has to have a mask and eye protection. And when you're on set 12 hours, 14 hours a day, you don't want to wear a mask 12, 14 hours a day. I mean, I get it. You have to, so you do. But, your glasses are fogging up, right? You have your fucking mask on, your glasses are fogging up. Take your fucking glasses off to try to read something, and you can't read something. You got to wipe your glasses off and put your glasses back on, and you go to read it, and then they fog up again. You're like, so you have to walk away to take your mask off, to wipe your glasses off, put your glasses on, if you're me or somebody that wears glasses, to like read a text or a call sheet or whatever. And it was just, there's like little things like that, but there's 1,000 of those in a day.
So let me ask you, sorry, not to interrupt. I just want to interject. No. I'm sure you saw it. Tom Cruise like blew up at one of his production members or crews because they weren't and it ended up online and all that stuff. Like, and some actors like came out and said, "Oh yeah, I would have done the same thing." Other actors and producers were like, "I would have done the same thing, but maybe not as aggressive." Like, at what point do you reach that golden standard of septic perfection during a pandemic?
We didn't get there. Nothing like that ever happened on our set, but we did have a COVID compliance department, which is a whole new department to production, and they would walk around. They say, 6 feet or glasses or your mask on, and it was constantly 6 feet because you start talking to somebody and you just generally gravitate. Not that you're hugging, but you're all, you're talking to somebody, you have a conversation, you're doing this 6 feet, you got to back up. So it's a constant thing.
Hold on, you had people like calling that out?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, wow.
We had a COVID compliance department. A department that was.
No, I get it. But like, how many people on set are saying 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet?
There were at least 2 or 3 of them on set. And it was no joke. And it was no joke.
That's like the Oprah Winfrey of COVID,
It was, yeah.
Like, you get a parasite. You get a parasite. You get a parasite.
It was like a fucking. It was like a never-ending thing. And but you forget about it. You're working and you're in the middle of a day and you're like, it's Wednesday and it's your third fucking 13-hour day and you're like, let's just get this done. And you're working and you're in a zone and you're telling somebody we need is 6 feet. And you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, can you just give me a break? But they're there for a reason because
don't you guys have headsets?
Sorry?
Don't you guys have headsets?
We do. Yeah, every now and then you'd hear it on the headset. We had surveillance mics. Every now and then you'd hear it on the headset, but every now and then you'd see like the girl looking at you because they were like scanning, like, and you're like, oh, Jesus.
That's like the TSA.
You know what it's like? It's like this. When you're on set and you're talking to somebody, and you have some fucking PA go, shh.
Right.
You're like, motherfucker, how about I knock you out here on this? Every now and then you see
sound
like
is jacked.
Girl looking at you. Yeah, your sound is. Hi, Adrian. Oh, dude. I'm sorry, buddy. I wish you were here.
What were you saying? Somebody, what you were?
When you're on set, you've been on set. You know what it's like. You're on set, and you're in the middle of doing something, and some fucking PA walks by, and they're like, "Shh," and you're like, "Don't fucking shush me, motherfucker." Now they're shushing you for a reason. You're not supposed to be talking. You should be outside. They're right. They're right to shush you. But after you get shushed 3 or 4 times a day, you're like, stop. It's like. You got to like walk away from that. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing with the COVID thing. It's like, fuck. That being said, they're right. They're there for a reason. They're there because they're there to keep us safe. You know, I mean, it is what it is. So when how do I articulate this? So with the zone, we would have like base camp was a whole new ball game, a whole new thing. And since we deal with base camp and we do all the parking and we deal with all the stuff in location, we had to deal with it. And there's zones and there's parking zones and there's shuttling, and it was a drag, man. But we did it. We got it done. Mayor of Eastham, starting in March, I think, on HBO. Watch it. Don't be a dick. It can be a good show.
Tell everybody who's in it.
Kate Winslet.
And what'd you do on the show?
I was in the location department, location scout extraordinaire, managing locations for Mayor of Easttown, which is on HBO. I believe it's starting in March. I don't have an exact date. It's Kate Winslet, Guy Pearce, Gene Smart, Julian Nicholson, the kid from American Horror Story. I can never remember his name. He's a good actor, a young guy. Good show. It's a good show. So if you get a chance to watch it, it's very, very dark, very murdery. But please watch it. Good show. And you're welcome.
God, I had a couple other questions for you.
Hit me, bro.
You got the condo coming up Monday. You said hopefully.
Hopefully.
Inauguration. So do you think? Are you expecting any sort of upheaval tomorrow or the rest of the week from that side of politics?
I don't know, man. I mean, you know, they sort of screwed the pooch on the whole Capitol building riot.
I'm sorry. I've never ever heard that term. What the fuck does screwed the pooch mean?
They kind of fucked the dog on that one. They do it. Never heard it?
I'm 50 years old. I've never heard that.
Never heard
screwed the pooch?
Yeah, they screwed the pooch on that one.
But it's just screwing the dog, not specifically a pooch.
It's like you actually like fuck the dog. Did you fuck up? You're like, yeah, I fucked up. Fuck the dog.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's
Children are watching. Relax.
I'm not watching this. If you're watching this, children, go to bed.
No, I've never heard that. I've heard never heard that.
So okay, I'll use a different expression.
No, I like screwed the pooch.
Okay.
I might use that.
So I think in a way they kind of screwed the pooch on that, because they, you know, if they were going to do something at inauguration day, now it's going to be so like they were going to do all these protests on Sunday. Jen is the person to talk to about this, by the way, but I kind of have a peripheral understanding about this because I can't watch it because it makes me crazy. I think that if they were really going to do something, they should not have done the Capitol building riot, because now everybody's on guard. Everybody's like on edge. Everybody's waiting for them to fucking do something crazy tomorrow. Doesn't mean they're not going to do something. You know, and to be clear, when I say they, I don't mean Republicans per se. I mean like insane Trumpers. I have family that voted for Trump, which I'm not very happy about, but I love them. I have to kind of clear that up because I've had some inner stuff with some family this week. I love my family, most of them, and you,
bro. And
the ones that I don't, you fuck know who you are. So let's just leave it at that.
You don't have to like them, but you should always love them.
I know. I guess that's true.
Trust me, I know the feeling.
You know the feeling. So, but I have family that I adore and I like, and you know, they're Trumpers, you know, and they're like, you know, they're older and they do their thing, and okay, whatever. I don't understand it, but when I talk about hating Trumpers and hating these people, it's not Republicans and it's not all Trumpers. It's these insane douchebag, fucking Proud Boy scumbag fucks. These motherfuckers should. And I'm not going to go into violence or any of that shit. I'm not going to go there. But you get the point. If you got anybody that's going to wear a shirt that says 6 million wasn't enough, you know, somebody should take your truck away. No more toys. You should go home. You don't get to play anymore because you're an asshole. So that's when I say they, that's what I'm talking about. These extremists, and they might do something. Yeah, they might. I have a feeling they won't, because of last week and because everybody's so on edge about it. But I've been wrong before, so I don't know, man. I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm Rob Joyner. Screw the pooch. Totally fine.
I mean, I'll be interested to see, how it all plays out. I mean, at this point, time is on our side, and we're not on our side, but just when you think it was, the worst it can get, January 6th, the storming of the state capitol. By the way, I have a lot of Republican friends that was like, oh, they weren't Trump supporters. They were Antifa.
They're Antifa
Groups that dressed up as lefties. So I don't know anymore. I honestly don't know anymore. And I'm seriously considering, pivoting back out of the U.S. and potentially Asia again.
Can
I kind of want. Scott, well, you just bought a house, so. But yeah, you can come for a while, and then go back, and then come back, and then go back, and come back. But I do want to give Biden and his administration just a chance. I just want to see. We'll know in like 3 to 6 months, dude. Because when Trump got into office, you could tell in the first 3 to 6 months it was going to go sour. You can just tell. And I think with Biden, and I'm not a huge Biden supporter. Is he probably a nice guy in person? Maybe. Is he a smart guy? Perhaps. Did he win the presidency? Yes, he did. But is he somebody that I have true faith and confidence in that's, going to lead the country? Maybe the people around him will. I don't know about him necessarily, but I think the people around him will guide him to make the right decision, and if you want to go back to January, February 2020, had Trump, really contained the pandemic and enforced masks and, just really kind of controlled, for him to kind of brush it off was a real detriment to United States.
He killed thousands of people by doing that. Thousands. Killed thousands of people by doing that. I mean, what are we, 390,000 people, something like that?
No, 400,000.
Are we 400 now? Oh, awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
That's just fucking great. I mean, I don't know what the difference would be in numbers, but it wouldn't be that high. If he had come out and said, like, seriously, like, this is here, this is serious, we need to deal with it, instead of being the fucking pig that he is. And it's unfortunate, it's really, it's unfortunate is just so not the right word. It's disgusting. It's criminal and it's awful. I hope that Joe Biden does a good job. I don't have a ton of faith in him. I don't hate him. I don't know. People hate Joe Biden. What's to hate? The guy's been a fucking, the everyman politician for fucking, 30 years, 40 years. He's been doing his whole life. People don't like politicians. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He's trying to fucking make a better world. I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I think. I don't understand how people. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. You can't talk to them. You can't talk to people that they've made up their mind. Listen, you can't talk to me. You're never going to talk me into fucking liking Trump. Ever. I will fucking die before I like fucking Trump. I will fucking die dead. So, in the same sense of that, I guess they feel the same way. I mean, listen, I don't understand it. I don't get it, man. But I know that the world the division of our country was not as acute as it is now before Trump got here. I mean, were there racist scumbags? Yeah. This country has always been a racist fucking country. From the time we fucking got here, it's been a racist, brutal country. There are other great things about this country too, and I still think that those are possible, but it's I don't know, man. It's such a fucking it's a dog and pony show. I remember when Trump was running, when he was campaigning, Jen had she had the good fortune of following him around. So her and her correspondent followed him from place to place while he was campaigning, and wherever he went, they went. So I saw her like 2 or 3 times in 7 months, and she was working 20 hours a day, and it was insanity. And I would say something about, this motherfucker, and she'd go, "Oh, he's never going to win," which everyone said. Everyone said that. "Oh, he'll never win." And for some reason, I said, "Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't underestimate the stupidity of human beings. He could fucking win. You got to take him seriously. He'll never win." And then he won. And then Jen called me when he fucking won. And I'm like, I know he won, because nobody could imagine that happening. But as soon as you don't imagine it happening, the shit happens. So here we are, 4 years later, 400,000 people dead. I really hope Joe Biden does a good job. I hope he does. I'll support him until I can't. Until he's a scumbag too, I will support him. I'll do my best to do that.
Not to give Donald Trump credit, but you got to give credit to redheads. Hardest working hair color on the planet, huh? There's only no, because I googled it. I think there's like 250,000 redheads.
Hey,
what's up, Adrian? Are you back?
My sound is fucked up.
You got to give credit to redheads. Hardest work. Still not working.
You have a delay.
It's fucked up. I'm just saying. I'm listening.
No, because I googled it.
Oh, Adrian sounds fucked up.
Adrian's like, why am I'm a grown ass man with kids and a career, and I'm trying to produce this fucking podcast with 2 of my drunk friends on YouTube at 8:00 on a fucking Tuesday. No, I was just gonna say, redheads are the hardest working hair color in the planet. That's just a fact. They just work hard. They're leprechauns. They just have this tenacity and this work ethic about them, unlike any other hair color. I don't want to generalize, but every person that I know that has red hair, they're like super successful or very, at the very least, like hard working people. And Donald Trump, he's a redhead. Huh?
Wait, is he a redhead? Where did that come from? He's not a redhead. He's blonde.
No, look at his pictures when he was younger.
Oh, do I have to?
It's like whatever, Auburn, whatever the fuck. He's a redhead.
Okay, all right. I'll take your word. I'll take your word for it. I trust you, brother.
I'm not saying redheads are bad. I'm just saying they're the hardest working.
Well, they are now. I mean, since Donald Trump's red.
I'm sure I'm going to get canceled, or somebody's going to. You should never make fun of redheads. I'll get some hate messages over that.
Okay, let's see here. Donald Trump redhead.
You're like. Go ahead.
Vanity Fair. Donald Trump's hair color, the biggest mystery of the GOP.
What do they say?
He's kind of an amazing guy if you think about it. I mean, he's a scumbag, and he has been for years. People in New Yorkers fucking hate Donald Trump. They hate him. They always have. He's a fucking douchebag. And through this bizarre little, 4-year stint at fascism, which didn't actually happen, but he was certainly shooting for it. He's become like the most talked about guy on the planet, asshole or not. So it's like, when Osama bin Laden was Man of the Year, when Time made Osama bin Laden Man of the Year, do you remember that? And it was like a big fucking thing. I wouldn't be surprised to make him Man of the Year. I don't think they should, just because it'll feed his ego, and I think he's a fucking douchebag.
Well, no, he has enough money to call the publisher or editor at Time magazine and say, hey, because you know how press works. Hey, we want to buy an article or buy a fucking page in your magazine or thing.
I don't know I don't know if they would do that. I don't know if they would do that. I mean,
if Time Magazine got a check from Donald Trump for whatever, some ridiculous amount of money, and he said, "I want to be on the cover of Time Magazine, as Man of the Year. Here's a check up front, and guess how many copies you're going to sell, because my fucking ugly face is on it. Trust me." It all boils down to that. The media, the news, it's all fucked up. It's all money driven and hungry, and people will sell their souls just to get a little claim to fame. You know that. I mean, our podcast is called Hollywood Tales. I mean, this is Donald Trump really is a Hollywood tale. He started out as a, silver spoon in his mouth, millionaire turned billionaire, turned celebrity, and president. Like, huh? Like, that's fucking wild if you think about it.
That is wild. Thank you, Ani.
They already made. Okay, well, thanks, Jennifer. I didn't know that.
Chicken's on it, bro.
Thanks, Chicken.
Right now.
Chicken. Why don't you come work on our podcast? We could use somebody like you.
Honey, you want a job?
It's the other way around. She's like, "Do you guys want to work for me?"
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Well, look, we're about an hour and 10 minutes in.
Wow.
This was our first welcome back podcast. We had some technical difficulties up front, but that's okay. And we want to continue again. The Hollywood the podcast is called Hollywood Tales, episode 11. Eric Mills, Amed, January 19th.
Yep. Do you want to do? We'll maybe do another one, maybe later on this week if we can. What do you think?
Yeah, but while we're here, why don't you tell your best Hollywood tale, or not your best, but one of your untold Hollywood tales. You got to leave the audience wanting something. We haven't really talked Hollywood here.
You could have gave me a fucking heads up, you dick. I got to think of something. Oh God.
Well, you talked about Guns N' Roses in the past. We interviewed your dad. We talked about
dad. So my dad
talked about
Hollywood tale. Did we talk about this already? So my dad was just interviewed by 2020. You talk about Rodney Alcala, serial killer. So back in the 70s, actors would do game shows because they would get into AFTRA. And if you were in AFTRA back in the day, you could join SAG. It was kind of like a stepping stone. The way some people do reality TV now, in a way, but it was the only thing that you could really get on, become a contestant on, and do a game show. My father did a number of game shows back in the 70s, and one of the game shows he did was the dating game.
Your dad was on the dating game?
My dad was on the dating game.
That's funny. Can you tell people who your dad is really quick? Because
my father's name is Jed Mills. Yes, sorry.
Jed
Mills. He's a character actor. He's been around for a long time. He did a lot of stuff in the 70s and 80s, and some stuff in the 90s. He was on Seinfeld. He's the ice cream, the frozen yogurt guy on Seinfeld, which I just watched, and he has like one line in it. I don't understand why. Oh my God, that's him. I'm like, he has one fucking line on it. But he was on Seinfeld, so it's a big thing. So props to you, Pops. He was also in Casino, and he beats Joe Pesci to death at the end of Casino with a baseball bat. So those are two of the things that he did, but he did every TV show in the 80s, in every sitcom and all everything.
And he also dated.
And he also dated Carrie Fisher, and he was in London with Carrie Fisher at Pinewood Studios as her acting coach when they were doing the scene where her and Mark Hamill find out that they're siblings, or her and Luke find out they're siblings, and he was on the Ewok Village. So he was with Carrie. I knew Carrie very well. Carrie was fucking awesome. He was also very good friends with Penny Marshall and a lot of those people. So he's been around. So cut back to the 70s, where he does a dating game. It's him and two other guys, and there's a girl on the other side of the wall, and she's asking the questions. So he doesn't win. She picks the other guy. The other guy's name is Rodney Alcala. Rodney Alcala became a convicted serial killer. They think killed 60 or 70 women. When he was on the dating game, he was already under investigation for murder, but they didn't have enough on him. When the woman picked him, back in the day, back in the 70s, when you did the dating game and you won, they'd like send the couple to
Hawaii
or whatever, to Tahiti for like a 3-day weekend. Like you're sending these two people who don't even fucking know each other some fucking country where there's no like extradition rate, and they you dump a body in the fucking ocean real easy. But they did that back in the 70s because that's how they did it in the 70s. I used to ride around the back of pickup trucks without a seatbelt and did shit like that, and it was cool. It was awesome. Anyway, Rodney Alcala won. When it came to leaving to go on the trip, the woman was too freaked out and didn't go. So she canceled it. Didn't go with him.
She was too freaked out, you said.
Too freaked out by the guy. Yeah, he was a creepy motherfucker. My father said in the green room, my father wanted to punch him the fuck out. My father was a tough motherfucker back then. My father said,
I remember you told me that.
He wanted to beat his ass because he was a smarmy, real douchebag of a guy. And Rodney Alcala was later convicted of being a serial killer. And they think they convicted him on 4 counts of murder. I could be wrong. But they think he killed 50 or 60 women. Matter of fact, about 10 years ago, he was up for parole. And this all came up in the news. And they interviewed my dad then, and I was like, I never knew this. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? How did you never tell me this? He's like, how'd you not know that? So it came up about 10 years ago, and they interviewed my dad, I think for 2020 back then as well. And I got calls from a number of people going, I just saw your dad. Holy shit. I got a call from one friend of ours who will remain nameless, who called me one day and I was working, and she said, I saw her name come up on the phone. I was like, fuck. And I said, hello. She said, hey. And I said, hey, what's going on? Everything okay? And she said, yeah, I just saw your dad in 2020. And I went, oh, no shit. And she went, yeah, Rodney Alcala killed my cousin.
Wow.
And I went, are you fucking kidding me? And she said, yeah, we believe that he killed. They found trunks of photos of young women, snapshots of young women, hundreds of these photographs, and they don't know who the women are. They don't know. And I won't go into how he killed women because it's fucking awful. But he was a brutal scumbag of a guy, and he killed many women. So my father was just interviewed by 2020. So there's a Hollywood story.
I don't know if that's a Hollywood tale or Dateline. That was fucking intense, man. I'm like,
yeah, well, there you go.
Well, thanks.
I should have had Keith here. Fuck.
Well, that's a great Hollywood kind of / Dateline NBC story.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I want to do one last plug.
Okay.
If you guys are watching, this is really good. I took a droplet about 15 minutes ago with Eric, and it's kicking in. Apotheo CBD oil. It's good for inflammation. Help you go to bed at night. Can you hear the sirens outside?
I can. Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Hey,
that's my neighborhood.
Look who it is.
Oh, you're back.
I'm back. I figured it out.
Adrian Alvarado, everybody.
What's up, man?
You guys want to keep going for a minute?
What's that?
You want to keep going for a minute, or we want to wrap it up?
Whatever you guys want to do.
Eric, what do you want to do?
I'm easy. I mean, this is an hour and 25 minutes. It's a long one. Bucket.
Let me grab a Stella, and I want to sample a couple little beats of music from my documentary, just like little 15-second clips.
Okay. And I want to sample. Just out of curiosity, the thing that I sent earlier, the Dave.
Yeah,
so
Adrian, you check that.
Be able to sample that. Can you play that?
I don't know. Okay, hold on.
Last one. Hi, Adrian. Glad you're back.
Yo, what's up? Thanks. I come back and then I got shit.
Do some fun. Everybody, Adrian Alvarado.
All right. Well, here I am. Well, they go out and do stuff, and they pretend that like I'm gonna go search for stuff. Like I'm not fast. I'm not like a hacker or anything. But anyway, they got that Apatio stuff, and they're hallucinating, and I don't have any of it, which is why I'm on here, and they're not. They're trying to figure stuff out. But all right, it's been a fun episode. It's nice to be back. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and chatting. If anybody has any comments and want to comment on the stash, this was approved by ABC, by the way. So this is like network approved stash. So marinate on that for a minute. Okay, can't make that up. He's got some little cheeba there. All right. Man.
I like the stash, Adrian. I think it's a handsome stash.
Network approved. Network approved.
So I want to real quick before I forget. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I want to mention it again. My wife.
Thank you, Corinne.
Oh, hi, Corinne. My wife has started a Bloody Mary site on Instagram called Bloody Mary Chick, which is awesome. It's at Bloody Mary Chick. Yes, there it is. There it is. People, go on Instagram and like this fucking page.
At Bloody Mary Chick.
Please. Check it out. It's awesome. My wife will be hosting or judging Bloody Mary contests, hopefully, soon. And she's awesome. And the Bloody Marys are delicious. So
that's one thing COVID has like really put a damper on, the Bloody Mary bars. Man.
It has. It's a drag. It's a drag.
Okay. The brunch. We can't do the brunching anymore.
I know.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Do it at home.
Oh shit! So Adrian, you've been working your ass off, bro.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What's happening? You got the recurring. You got a lot of shit happening, man.
Yeah, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield,
Fucking Adrian.
Right now,
Adrian's people.
We ended 2020, proper. And got to work with some great people and some good projects. Can't talk too much on like what I'm doing because everybody knows what I do. But ABC, I'm doing a little recurring on ABC coming up in February. I think it should be airing the end of February. I'll post it, and maybe next time we talk, I'll be able to, share the date and stuff like that. Got to work with some people in BET. And, hey man, just fortunate and just humble, man. Just happy to be working, man.
It's awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, Adrian, you were sorry, man. I stepped out for a second. You booked a recurring role on a pretty killer show, right?
Yeah, working on an ABC thing right now. For Life is the show. I think they're gonna come back on air because there was a hiatus, obviously due to COVID. They'll be back on the 27th, and I believe those episodes will be airing maybe a month from that. So maybe sometime late February you'll start like seeing my guy pop up and stuff like that.
Yo, so let me ask you this, because you're a very progressive and prolific like working actor, not only working actor but New York working actor. So for the people that are watching that are like up and coming actors or want to get in the business, maybe just give a little breakdown of like what it takes. How do you make it? How are you doing it? What's the rhyme and reason? Like how do you make it all happen? I mean, and start from like acting classes. I got an agent. My agent calls me. I print up the sides. I put it on tape, or I go into the casting office.
I go back to the manila envelopes to get in the Backstage magazine when it would come out every Thursday. And then you have to highlight the parts that you thought you were right for. And then you get your headshot and your resume, and you put that shit in the manila envelope, and then you would mail that shit.
What year is this?
What you're doing now? You don't have an agent? Fuck yeah.
That was back in, I started when I was, honestly, I started in high school. Back in 92 was official. Like 93 was the official year that I said I'm going to be an actor. I was 17 years old. I was fortunate to have a teacher in my drama that was doing the drama class, Mr. Wonder, that was a Broadway actor, like character actor in New York, and he was finishing his teaching tenure. So he gave me the ins and outs of like what I needed to do at the time. This is before internet, before anything. Get the backstage, get the Ross report, and that's how I started.
But fast forward, like right now, like how you. Sorry, I didn't mean to like.
No, it's all good.
Cut you off, but I'm just curious, like.
Right now,
auditioning during a pandemic and booking a show during as an actor. Like Eric talked about, being a location, manager, but now you're in front of the camera. How's that jam? Like, how you booking? I tried to audition for probably 50 things during the fucking pandemic, and I didn't book shit. You know why? Because COVID doesn't like Muslims.
They like Latinos, apparently, though. You gotta just
Puerto Ricans,
Latinx, Hispanic. I don't know, whatever you want to call me.
No, I'm just curious, like, because you work quite a bit. So, like, what's the process? Your agent calls you, hey, Adrian, I got a part for this recurring on thing. Do you go on tape? Do you go in person? Once you book it, how does that work? Let's talk about that, because that's an interesting segue.
So it started back in LA, actually, the self-taping, sort of slowly, and then, now since the pandemic happened, it's all been self-tapes. So, I get the typical email, hey, you got a self-tape now. It's not even the boom. And I've been just putting myself on tape, and I have a studio downstairs, and I've been perfecting it for a while.
And who reads with you?
I'm very fortunate that my wife is an excellent reader.
Oh, cool.
She's my partner in crime.
You are fortunate. We're very fortunate about that.
And she's booking all your gigs.
Yeah, she gets half the shit anyway. I'm already in 15 years in, no prenup, whatever. She's getting half of it. You might as well put in some work.
So you go on tape, you submit it to your agent submit it to casting goes, love him. Now, do you get booked off your tape, or do you have to go meet them in person after that?
Lately it's been just straight off tape. So they've been just straight off the tape. And then I've been getting tested every day. I'm still on the clock for the week for this episode. I finished shooting on Friday, so like they test me every day, even if I'm not shooting. I got to go in and get tested. Like they're really really on it. Like I'm getting like PCR tests and all that stuff. But yeah,
do you have to drive, or I guess take a train?
I'd rather drive, because I could take the train.
So even when you're not working, you drive into the city to get tested and drive home.
I drove in today. I got tested. I was in there for 10 minutes and I drove back.
Do they pay you for that?
Yes.
The workday.
ABC, baby. ABC. Sony in the house. You want to represent?
I mean, that's like what, 2 hours of your day?
Well, yeah. It takes me an hour and 10 minutes to drive in with no traffic. Go in and out.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can find parking, whatever, and get in there and they dob you up, get the fuck out. You don't get a phone call.
And it's like an actor's.
But the stress now for the actor is that
let me just ask you. But it's the full day's scale pay, just to go get tested.
Well, I'm on a weekly, so.
Okay, so you got to go. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the weekly, so it's like, come in.
Hey man, you're on the payroll, baby.
That's all that
it.
Counts, so. That's all. You're on the roll, and then you go, hey, that's my job is to go in and get tested.
That's it.
And be prepared. And be prepared.
Let me coattail that with this song here, man. This is called "Tanks from the Streets" from my documentary, Just Like Us. OmarFadel.com. He scored. Actually, this guy's getting nominated for awards left and right. Just Like Us, the movie on YouTube, Cross Cultural Productions. This song is called "Tanks in the Streets." We were in Beirut, Lebanon. And I just want to sample it for 30 seconds and I'll get out. Yo, Omar Fadel, OmarFadel.com. It's one of the baddest music composers. I mean, I'm not saying this because I know him. He just knows how to play instruments and score music, and he's badass. Anyway, didn't mean to interrupt you. I think we need some like original music we can play in between. Didn't you have somebody, Eric? You had like your boy.
Yeah. I got the Daves. Did you happen to get that, Adrian?
Well, yeah. I mean, I got it. It was on the. I wasn't able to download it. You know.
Okay.
We just got back. You know.
That's okay.
Guys, that was tipsy and fucking rusty. What do you want from
your little Daves?
Wait, but do I have it? Wait, are you getting feedback from me?
That was me. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how to play it right on the right thing. I could play it on my phone, but you're not going to hear it right.
It's all good. It's nice to be back, though.
Fuck.
Here's another song from OmarFadel.com. Just Like Us, the movie documentary. This one's called "Stay in Formation." All this music is on my documentary, Just Like Us, the movie.com, or go to OmarFadel.com.
All right. Hollywood Tales, baby.
Hollywood Tales, baby. Episode 11, January 19th, 6:38 p.m. here in Venice Beach, California.
I'm eating popcorn.
Eric, you got it going?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm running to it's loan. It's fucking loan stuff as usual. This fucking loan's a nightmare.
No worries.
Sorry.
I'll sample one more song while we're waiting for your song.
Sample a song. I'm in the middle of something.
This song is called "What Is a Muslim?" What is a Muslim? Just Like Us, the movie.com. When you hear a song called "What Is a Muslim," you probably want, you're thinking like aggressive and la 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 la, like, and no, this is like real peaceful, real.
Very Jack Johnson-y.
It is. How about this one? This one's called The Journey Begins. Again, another song from the soundtrack of my movie Just Like Us, cross-cultural productions on YouTube, omarfadl.com.
All right, we'll have a podcast.
Eric, you find your song?
Yeah, I have it on my phone, but if I play it, it's gonna be all fucking.
Try it. Let's hear it. I mean, it's fine. Like 4 people are watching right now, so.
That's make a fine point.
While Eric, while you're pulling up that song, Adrian, I want to ask you, what's the stand-up comedy scene like in New York right now?
Well, there's no indoor one. Connecticut got some stuff going on. You got a lot of New Yorkers coming here. Stress Factory.
Yeah, I saw that, but
Vinny
nothing
Brad.
in New York City. Comedy Cellar.
Nothing like
Caroline's.
outdoors.
Everything indoors.
Nothing indoors. Nothing indoors.
So Comedy Cellar is not doing. They don't. There's no game for them right now.
Nothing right now, man.
What about the Stand? Weren't they doing stuff on the patio for a minute?
Well, that's the only thing that's going on. Anything you can do outdoors, you can get some shows. But I see a lot of Zoom stuff. I see guys active. They're doing stuff like people in the park. You know, the weather has been helping. Like, you know, in Jersey, like I see cats. You know, like James Camacho. You know, he's busy.
I like James.
James has been doing a lot of stuff. He's a cool dude, and he's busy. You know, he's out in the fucking under a tree, you know, like doing comedy, you know, like he don't give a shit, you know, like, so he's like really like pushing it, you know, and he's one of those guys like really like, you know, soldiering on here. So you got guys over here like the Manjana Dialogues. These guys are like putting up shows, you know, partnering up with like Stand Up New York, bringing people in to like this spot over here in like in Norwalk, you know, like they're putting on shows like holding up a contest, limited capacity, you know, but they're still doing stuff, man. You know, like I said, Connecticut's a little different in most states, but they're still doing stuff indoors here, limited capacity, but New York's not doing anything at all.
Eric, you have your song?
Yeah.
Before you play it, why don't you intro it?
So,
I don't know, man.
So my son-in-law, Casey Baker, started a band with some friends of his. I think it was almost like a production art thing, just to fuck around and play old punk music. I think it's kind of what they're just kind of doing it just for the fuck of it. And they have a couple of little EPs on iTunes that are really good. So nice. I'm going to play Garden Under the Stars, which is a song about oh God, what the fuck is it called?
Let me see if I can do it here.
So that's my son-in-law singing, and the band is the Daves, and they're on iTunes, and they're fucking awesome. And they got like maybe 8 or 9 songs right in that vein, and they're all good.
Can we put their Adrian? Can we put their website or podcast? Oh, there it is. Nice.
There you go. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Check them out, people. A Garden Under the Stars. What's the name of the band again?
The Daves.
The Daves.
The Daves. The Daves. The Daves. The Daves. Kind of like it's one of their album covers. Daves of Our Lives. They're fucking great. They're a lot of fun. If you like that old school kind of like rock and roll punk kind of thing, they're fucking great. It's a blast. They're simple, good rock and roll. My wife's Instagram page, Bloody Mary Chick.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Please check it out. Go to it, check it out, like it, become a member, become a friend, become a follower. Whatever you do on Instagram, I don't fucking know. I'm old. I take pictures with my fucking iPad.
Oh, baby, you stalk on Instagram. You gotta be stalking.
You know, between the three of us, we're 150 years old.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Thanks, man. That's great.
We're like a vintage wine now. We're like vintage.
Cheers. Cheers to you guys, man. Salud.
Salud.
Hey boys, I gotta wrap it up. I'm having issues with my fucking lender is killing me, and I gotta jump on this again. So I apologize.
I got a guy for that.
I know.
You're Puerto Rican. You got a guy.
We'll talk after the call. We'll talk after the call. You guys can stay on.
No, we've been on for an hour.
All right.
We've been on for an hour and 40 plus. Let's all say your individual goodbyes. I'm gonna play some music, and then we'll see you maybe later this week, right?
Yeah, let's this week. That was awesome.
Bunker Carry again. Want to say thanks,
Eric, enjoy your you start, Eric.
I love you guys. Good to see you again, man. It's been a while since we've done it, and I needed this, and it was really, it's good, man. There's always a bit of catharsis when you go through this, when you kind of sit around and talk about shit like in a dark room, and it's myself and the two of you guys doing this, and it's always really appreciated. So I thank you for doing it tonight, and everybody that watched, Corinne and Stacy and Dave Boudreau and Yusuf.
Thank you guys. Thank you,
everybody. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
We're going to try to get on a little bit more of a regular schedule. Jen, I love you, my beautiful, awesome wife that makes a lot more money than me now. I love you. And we will be in our new place soon. It was good, man. It was a good time. I'm glad we did it. So we'll see you guys. We'll all be back here again, hopefully this week, and we'll do it again.
Adrian, any last words?
No, I mean, it's great to be back. Great to talk. I mean, you don't really get to talk and hang out with people anymore. So, I mean, it's like the more we can do it, the better. So glad that everybody's working and sit busy. But, hey, we can always reconnect. And let's do it again soon.
Guys, thank you. Adrian, you've never looked more Egyptian in your life. You do, dude. You look like all my uncles. I swear to God.
I'm a chameleon, bro. I can. I'm racially ambiguous.
Eric, the same. Eric, the same with you. I love you guys.
Amed.
No, it's Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Hey, don't spit through the lens. Hey, I love you guys. For those of you watching, please subscribe on YouTube. It's Hollywood Tales Live. This is episode 11, January 19th. Tomorrow is Inauguration Day. Stay tuned. Be safe. Wear your mask. Just be safe out there, everybody. We love you all. I'm gonna play a song to like roll us out. But
yeah, I got a little something if you want.
You got one? Yeah. I was gonna play something from the soundtrack.
Okay.
Pismo. We can do both.
I got both.
Why don't you sample yours? I'll sample mine. Love it.
Hollywood Tales.
Love you guys. Hollywood Tales, Hollywood Tales, Hollywood Tales.
Peace, peace,
Peace,
peace.
guys.
Good night.
Godspeed.
Love you guys.
Peace. Love you guys. You're well.